Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and with the third round pick at number 77 overall in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders have selected offensive tackle prospect out of Maryland, Delmar Glaze. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell you why I think the Raiders decided to go this route, how the fit's going to be, and then what does this mean for somebody like Thayer Munford, because if you want competition in that backfield, you're going to get it now. You're going to get it in the trenches. Tom Telesco is telling you exactly what he wants to do. Build in the trenches. But I want to know from the nation out there, I want you to grade the pick. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F down below. A, you absolutely love this pick. B, it's a good pick. C, it's average. D, it's bad. F, it's a big old fat failure. For me personally, and I get it, this is not a sexy pick out there, and was it a little bit of a reach? The answer to that question is yes, it was a little bit of a reach. Dane Brugler has him ranked 132 on his board. Here at Chat Sports, we have him also ranked as a fourth-round pick. This is the first time that I think that Telesco and AP did reach a little bit on a prospect, but they also said this: we believe that we have a need at offensive tackle, and because we have that need at offensive tackle, we're going to have to potentially look at that, and I think what you're going to see here a little bit is a battle between Thayer and Munford. Now, again, this Raiders offensive line depth chart is not updated at all. We had Jackson Powers Johnson. He was drafted. He's probably going to play left guard. Dylan Parham's probably going to play right guard. And then now with Glaze, he's probably going to battle it out with Munford for that right tackle spot. And the loser of that battle will more than likely end up swinging over to play a little bit of either a backup left tackle role and a backup right tackle role. Tom's got him ranked 162, so Tom has him even lower as a prospect overall. I don't agree that he's an offensive guard. I don't really think that that's quite the fit here. Maybe that there's something that the Raiders see that we don't quite see, but I see him being more of an offensive tackle prospect. I mean, this is a guy that started 15 games at left tackle at Maryland, 17 games at right tackle at Maryland. And again, do I think it's a little bit of an interesting pick? Yes, I do, but at 6'4", 320 pounds, like, he's got that wide frame, natural power, strong grip strength. I mean, you're talking about a 7-foot wingspan. Played tackle in college. Tom thinks that his limitations against edge rushers and athletic ability is why he could be an offensive guard. He does at times get a little bit aggressive, but if you want to talk about some just good numbers, 2.8% quarterback pressure percentage allowed since 2021. That's seventh among draft-eligible tight ends. And again, not a sexy pick. If you want to know what Dane Brugler from The Athletic believes of Delmar Glaze, luckily for you, we have that right up here because I put a lot of time and effort into the NFL draft, don't get me wrong, but there are just certain other guys that I do think just put a little bit more time in, and Brugler is one of those dudes. Glaze's aggressive tendencies and lack of explosive traits show on an island, but with his size, strength, and smooth movements, a move to guard could be what is best for his NFL future. With continued development, he will compete for starting snaps. It's a fourth-round grade from Brugler. So, Brugler saying maybe he's a guard. Tom's saying that maybe he's a guard. I know that offensive tackle is a little bit of a bigger need for the Raiders, and that just might not be the area that this goes. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this. Maybe the Raiders want to kick Dylan Parham to right tackle. I don't know. The important message here is they are building in the trenches, and they are addressing needs that all of us have said. The offensive line, which is exactly what this Raiders organization did. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you do. I'm trying to get to 169,000 subscribers. We're going to be live here on the Raiders Report for the remainder of day 2 of the NFL Draft. And then tomorrow, we are also going to be live for all round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7, 4 rounds tomorrow, day 3 of the NFL Draft here on the Raiders Report. Make sure you subscribe and make sure that you do not miss it. All right, more info here on Mr. Delmar Glaze. Some of the other tendencies that we have. One person who I also trust, Lance Zerloin, says swing tackle prospect with some promising NFL traits, but tape that comes up lacking against some of the better competition that he faced. Glaze has started at both tackle spots, but is inconsistent with pass sets and change of direction. Rushers with speed can beat him at the top of the rush, cross his face for easy inside access once he starts oversetting. He has good hand strength and should improve in protection if he can use more direct inside-out punch. He's fairly fluid in space and fits the criteria of an inside-outside zone blocker with lead pull potential. A move to guard might give him the best chance to become an NFL starter in the future. Before I continue to break down more here on Delmar Glaze, I gotta give a shout-out to today's sponsor, Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And I think when you're looking for tickets to any kind of an event, you don't want to feel like that you're reaching and overpaying. And I think that I see right now in the comment section for the nation that there are some people out there that feel like that the Raiders here did go with a little bit of a reach here on Mr. Glaze himself. But if you download the Game Time app, you're never going to feel like that you are reaching because of the deals that we got set up for all y'all. Buying tickets to your favorite event, it shouldn't be stressful. Use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. When you download the Game Time app, I want you to create an account. And again, use code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Obviously, terms apply again. Redeem code CHATSPORTS. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Some more just little inside information here on Mr. Glaze. He continues working his feet around the reach block, which I like that he does to seal off some lanes. He's got decent lateral quickness, can work up on some of his combo blocks. I like the fact that he holds his post, works to drive vertically on double teams. Strong hands allow him to stall out rushers when he sinks in them. You're also looking at some of these combine numbers here. 40-yard dash of 5.21, a 10-yard lateral split of 1.78. His athletic score is okay. Again, I'm trying to figure out here what exactly the Raiders' plan is on the offensive line because, yes, I know Telesco is somebody that really preaches that we need to be able to win in the trenches. But I'm looking at Tom Downey's notes, who is somebody who I respect a lot in this industry. And again, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I know every single one of these prospects like the back of my hand. I know the Las Vegas Raiders like the back of my hand. And when I see Tom saying he probably should move to guard, Lance Zierlein says probably should move to guard, Dane Brugler says probably should move to guard. I know there's a lot of people out there that are confident in his tackle ability, and he's got a lot of playing time at the tackle position. And like I said, 15 starts at left tackle, 17 starts at right tackle. PFF has him graded that as a 73.6 PFF grade in 2023, a 73 grade in 2022. Last season with the Maryland Terrapins, he had 859 snaps at left tackle. The year before that, he had 807 at right tackle. So again, you're seeing a player that has some of that versatility and predominantly has only played tackle in the NFL. But looking at the notes for people that I personally trust a lot, they're saying that maybe he should move to offensive guard. What I want to know from the nation, though, is this. If you all have made it this far in the video, let me know what you think of the pick here of Mr. Delmar Glaze, because, again, I am seeing a little bit of a mixed bag here from the nation of overall, top to bottom, what they are thinking. But, I mean, so far, I like what this Raiders organization has done in terms of some of the players that they are targeting, some of the guys that they are looking at. One of the videos that I put out was around some of the top offensive tackle prospects that I would want the Raiders to draft. Delmar Glaze did make that video, though I do have him a little bit lower than what I like to see. Some of my notes are the 7-foot wingspan, does struggle against speed rushers, and he can be a little bit soft at times. I just wish they would have went maybe a little bit of a different route. I mean, some of the players that are, according to Tom Downey's, best available out there, I would have rather a guy like TJ Tampa. I would have rather a guy like Peyton Wilson. Would have been a nice little area that they could have potentially gone out and targeted. But again, I have to give AP and Telesco their flowers around the idea of they are telling you exactly what they're going to do. And this draft, they said that they were going to go best player available, which they did with Brock Bowers and Jackson Powers Johnson. Also, Telesco said that they want to build in the trenches. Delmar Glaze was the pick here because they're trying to build in the trenches. I think it's also speaking of how many other players went off the board at offensive tackle. There was a long run in round 3, and I believe that the Raiders looked at their board and they said, you know what? It is a little bit of a reach here taking Glaze, but if we don't take an offensive tackle now, I don't know when we're going to be able to take an offensive tackle in this here draft. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report. If you want to hit me up on IG and on Twitter, please do so. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. We're going to be keeping you guys up to date of all things going on around the silver and black. And remember, we are live right now on YouTube. We got 3,700 people watching our live stream. If you want to pull up to the largest, biggest Raiders show on YouTube right now, I encourage you to do so because you got guys like Buddy Bear, Lord Cameron Abbott, and then a heavy hitter today, tied for the MVP, Kilo Cuz, all balling out for the nation. My next question is this, though. The next time the Raiders are going to be on the clock, going to be pick 112 in round 4. What position should the Raiders draft next? Do you go linebacker? Do you go wide receiver? Maybe a running back? Or I think the position that most people are going to answer here is corner. And even though we think Delmar Glaze is a little bit of a reach, with all those runs at offensive line, could you see a few more corners start to fall down the board in round 4?